Welcome to today's market report.
The DAX in Germany climbed to an all-time peak, while the CAC 40 in Paris reached a 52-week high, as did the broad-based Stoxx 600 index. Confidence is growing about the strength of global economic improvements, helped by first-time jobless claims in the US, the largest economy in the world, falling to a new pandemic low last week. This puts Friday's employment report for May firmly in focus, as investors expect this to show that the unexpected weakness seen in April was a one-off, when just 266,000 jobs were created, far short of the 1 million also expected. The economy is expected to have added 650,000 new jobs in May, but the economy is still more than 8 million jobs short of where it was before the pandemic. The quarterly earnings season is largely over, but Zoom Video Communications and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise are set to report results after the bell. Crude oil prices were sharply higher on Tuesday, with the international benchmark Brent topping $70 a barrel amid optimism over the outlook for demand growth as the global economy recovers ahead of a meeting of major producers. US crude was up 3% at $68.28 per barrel, while Brent was up 2.3% at $70.88 per barrel, hitting the highest intraday price since March 8th. China's May factory activity grew at the fastest pace in 2021 so far, and Europe quickly followed suit, with Eurozone manufacturing activity expanding at a record pace in May, suggesting that economic recovery in the world's largest consumers of oil was well on track. The gold futures edged down 0.14% at $1,902.55 per ounce. On the FX front, the pound advanced to the strongest level in 3 years as traders bet the UK's economic recovery will gain traction with the rollout of coronavirus vaccines. Sterling climbed above a previous high set in February, extending its gains this year to 4.2%. 3/4 of the UK population will be covered with a 2-dose vaccine within a month, based on the current pace of inoculations, according to data collected by Bloomberg and Johns Hopkins University. The pound is favoured because of the progress of vaccination puts the UK closer to economic normalisation than other countries. According to FX analysts, sterling could climb towards $1.45. The pound rose 0.2% to $1.4240 after reaching $1.4248, the highest level since April 2018. The currency rallied 2.8% in May, a second straight monthly gain. Sterling's ascent reflects the UK's relative success in containing the pandemic, with the authorities planning to fully reopen the economy on June 21st. While the discovery of a highly transmissible variant of the virus originating from India poses a risk, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said there is no conclusive reason to delay the easing of the lockdown. The improving outlook for growth is also fueling speculation the Bank of England will join its peers in Canada and New Zealand by signalling it may start to raise interest rates next year. Overnight index swaps signaled a 46% probability the central bank will raise its benchmark rate by August 2022, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. The UK's economic recovery and associated growing expectations about the Bank of England will join its peers in Canada and New Zealand by signalling it may start to raise interest rates next year. Eurodollar holds gains above 122 as bulls take a breather after 2-month uptrend. Strong US Treasury yields fail to trigger any US dollar rebound amid stimulus hopes. Eurozone inflation eagerly awaited ahead of the US ISM manufacturing PMI. Doubts over the Fed's next moves become firmer as the Fed policymakers will observe the blackout period after this week, and there hasn't been any strong line between the supporters of tapering and those against such moves. This highlights today's Eurozone CPI and US PMI as the key data ahead of Friday's US non-farm payrolls. Forecasts suggest the bloc's inflation gauge to inch closer towards the 2.0% target versus 1.6% forecast, whereas the US ISM manufacturing PMI is likely to repeat the 60.7 level, while Eurozone CPI should be observed for a possible upside. The dollar index was down 0.08% at 89.922. Aussie dollar rose for a second day to as high as 0.7761.
This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.